Bill, Sarah, Kevin, Bob, there's your feel-good Friday foursome. Today, with his Spurs kingdom fallen, could Kawhi end up in Jurassic World? Could 113 pitch at bat in July come to define the Red Sox season? And could someone please get Tio in the hall to just grow up? All that, plus the cup, the GOAT,
football field,
and the boat.
Where are they going to end up, though?
Yeah.
Illinois?
Looks like trouble. Y'all ready?
Always ready.
It's Around the Horn,
finish strong,
the show
people.
of competitive banter.
Who wants this smoke? Question is there fire around the rumors identifying the Raptors as dark horses for Kawhi Leonard? Trade speculation had been focused on the Lakers, Clippers, Celtics, and Sixers, but lately the buzz is getting louder that Toronto could deal DeMar DeRozan, who interestingly has scrubbed his Instagram account, a couple of young players, and picks to San Antonio for Leonard. Bob Ryan, you're in Boston, where the Celtics are the presumed heir apparents in this new LeBron-less East. Should the Raptors go all in for Leonard, even though he could be out after just a year?
In a word, no. I don't think that Toronto nor anyone else should take him on unless they get an assurance he'll stay longer than a year, which I don't think he's going to get. Number one. Number two, they're not that far away. Now, Cleveland is down because LeBron's gone. They beat out Boston last year. Yes, I know Hayward's coming back. We don't know how exactly good the Celtics are going to be, but they were not afraid of the Celtics last year, and I don't think they're going to be afraid of them this year. They're close. I don't see why they have to do this. I mean, they're on a good course right now, and I just don't think that this makes any sense to me whatsoever.
What about you, KB?
Yeah, I'm with Bob on this. I mean, you're talking about a team that just jettisoned the coach of the year in Dwayne Case, who got them more wins than they've ever had before, and unfortunately just couldn't get by LeBron James, which is nothing to be ashamed of. And then you hand over the job to my man Nick Nurse, his assistant for the last few years. And what are you telling Nick? You know what? We're trading pieces for a guy who very well could bolt in 2019 to go be with Bill Plaschke out in L.A. Unless you can get absolute assurance on pen with ink on paper from Kawhi Leonard that he is going to be committed to being a Torontoan for the next 3, 4, 5 years, and you absolutely don't make a change.
Sarah?
Yeah, to me, this feels like a desperation move, and they're not a desperate team. If they were worried about plateauing and being stuck in the same place because nothing had changed, maybe I would understand. But LeBron's gone, and that's been their bugaboo every year. The East is wide open. They got a new coach, and the way their contracts are right now, they've sort of set them up for a 3-year plan to see in that window if this will work. If they go out and get Kawhi, and then he leaves, and they give up DeRozan, Anunoby, 2 first-rounders, then next year they're out all of that, and they've got to start over midway through this window they've created. I just don't think that they're that desperate. They need to see how they do with this new look East.
All right, let's go to L.A. What you say, Bill?
I don't know. Why not? I'm thinking about this. Why not try this? What they has not working. Everybody says DeMar DeRozan was doing great. He didn't get him very far. Make that change. They got a new coach, a new approach right now. And, again, much to my chagrin, you saw what happened with Paul George in Oklahoma City. It could happen with Kawhi in Toronto. Let's say he's healthy. Let's say he goes there. Let's say he loves it. They can pay him more money once he gets there than anybody else can pay him. Why not shake it up? Why not? Again, what they've had for the last 5 years has not worked. They got rid of the coach of the year. They got a new approach. Why not try it?
Sarah, tell Bill again why not.
Well, here's the problem. You're depending on a guy in Kawhi Leonard who is one of two things. Very injured to the point where he could only play 9 games and you have no idea whether he's 100% yet, or very not loyal to a team that was paying him $19 million a year and sat for all those games even though he was healthy. Which one of those two guys do you want on a team that you need to depend to stick around?
He's also very 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, very NBA Finals MVP.
Used to be.
Bob?
Well, I would say to anybody that gets him, the first question would be, why are we having this conversation? Explain to me exactly why I have an opportunity to obtain your services, please, Mr. Leonard, because most people, no one has a real, honest, direct answer to that question yet.
All right. Okay, boys and girl, we move on to the kids in the hall. And I do mean kids. Are there any adults involved in this feud between Terrell Owens and the Pro Football Hall of Fame? T.O. already planned to give his acceptance speech at UT Chattanooga on August 4th. Now the Hall says it will not acknowledge Owens individually during enshrinement weekend. Hall of Fame Executive Director Joe Horrigan told the Talk of Fame Sports Network, quote, "The focus is on the guys who are here. There's no reason to bring him up as an individual. He's not here," close quote. Bill, is this a bad look for the Hall?
Bad look. Message to Canton. You're the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Act like it. You're bigger than Terrell Owens. You're bigger than all. You're about enshrining players. Honor the players. Doesn't matter whether they're there or not. Give him a video. Honor him. Be bigger than him. Don't stoop to his level. Make him see what he's missing. Again, he's in the Hall of Fame. You're the Hall of Fame. Be bigger than him. It just looks so petty for the Hall of Fame to do this.
Bob?
Bravo Hall. T.O. doesn't get in the first year or the second year because for reasons that we know. And now he's taking his metaphorical football that he is in and he's going home. He's going to show everybody that what it does or doesn't mean to him. This is foolish. He's hurting himself. He's missing out on the great opportunity to hobnob with his new classmates. That's the great thrill of this thing. You're a part of a new club, a fraternity that is unbreakable for the rest of your life. And you're going to absent yourself from this for what reason? For what possible reason? This is exactly the reason why he didn't get in the first two early. Because he's a bad teammate, okay? He's a wonderful player, one of the great Hall of Fame, wide receiver outs of all time, but he was not a good teammate, and they let him know this, and he is totally in the wrong, and they're totally in the right.
I think that narrative's a little overblown, but he is conspicuous by his absence, and therefore somewhat of a distraction to the whole process. KB, whose side are you on here?
Man, I just think that Terrell Owens has the right to show up to what he's been inducted into, whether or not he wants to or not. I mean, have you ever seen the list of people who didn't show up to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Do you think that Bob Dylan the other year when he got that worldwide award and wasn't showing up should have that taken away from him? Absolutely not.
Nobel Prize for Poetry,
yeah, exactly. Absolutely not. So, I mean, that he doesn't want to be there is fine. I mean, you would think it would be cool that he would be there, but at least he's consistent with his persona that's been developed and is not fake.
Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why everyone is still debating whether or not T.O. should be there. He's made his decision. What we're debating here is whether the Hall of Fame should stoop to his level, and the answer is absolutely not. And what Bob said is the whole point. He said they're proving now why he didn't make it. That's not supposed to be how you make a decision about someone's Hall of Fame career. So all they're doing is reinforcing the fact that this was personal. It's not supposed to be personal. If he doesn't want to come, that doesn't make him not a Hall of Famer, and that doesn't mean you don't show a video, unleash his bust for everybody to see, mention his name, and then move on. You can say, even in that production, I wish he was here, we wish he was here, but he's nonetheless joining this class. I think it makes the Hall look petty.
The same way they do players posthumously, Bob Ryan.
I posed this possible rhetorical question to my friends here. Whose opinion do you worry about or value more in the long run? T.O.'s or the people in Canton? I have my answer.
Yeah, but the people in Canton, Bob, the people in Canton are acting as selfish as you say
Right.
Terrell Owens is acting.
If they want to hold it against him that he acted that way, then why are they then acting in kind? Instead, as Bill said, they should show him the thing that he's missing out on by being as high class as they can.
KB?
Well, he's supposed to be there because he's one of the greatest players of his era, and that's why he was voted in. And I think it's a slap in the face to the Hall of Fame voters as well if the Hall continues to act like this.
I'll tell you what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about the game, and it's supposed to be about the fans. Both sides are wrong in some respects. It'd be really nice if they both said, you know what, it's not about me. As I get older, I try to say that to myself. It's not about me. It's not about T.O. It's not about these voters. It's about the game and the fans. It's bigger than both of them. But good stuff, guys. From T.O. to his former teammate and his fellow Hall of Famer, Jerry Rice. I don't remember Jerry's Hall of Fame speech, but he should have just said this and called it a day. Allow him to reintroduce himself. Roll it.
2,895 yards. Keep on. 108 touchdowns. 10 Super Bowls. Best football player of all.
Big facts from Jerry Rice. He came with the numbers. All right, KB, greatest player of all time, Jerry Rice?
Oh, he's certainly the greatest wide receiver of all time. I don't think that's in dispute. Greatest player of all time, I still got Jim Brown up there. I still got Lawrence Taylor up there, right, because I don't want him coming back and getting me. And you know what? I got to either put Tom Brady up there or Joe Montana, and right now I lean towards Tom Brady.
All right, Bill?
Yeah, Jerry Rice needed Joe Montana to throw him the microphone to make that appropriate. Yes, he's the greatest come on. He's the greatest wide receiver ever. But no, you can't, as a wide receiver, cannot be, I don't think, the greatest player ever. I think it's,
why not?
It's time. Well, because he's completely dependent on the quarterback. And he had the same quarterback. Montana took care of him, and then Steve Young for all those years. I give it, the quarterback is the most important position in any sport, on any team. And I think the best, the greatest of all, it's got to be Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas. That's where it has to come from.
Real quick, though, Bill, isn't that an argument for Jerry Rice to be so dependent and to be so far and away more productive than anybody at his position?
No, because if he doesn't have a guy, doesn't have the greatest quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever thrown to him, how's he going to get all those yards?
All right, well, Brady's got the greatest coach ever, but I hear you. Okay.
No, but he's got all kinds of weapons.
Sarah, your turn.
Yeah, and where'd Joe Montana be without Rice catching those balls? What if someone else was there and wasn't doing the job? That's why it's so hard in football to choose a best player. There are so many positions that are specialists, and without all of them coming together to play well, it doesn't mean much anything. Calvin Johnson, when paired with some other talent, might have been an even greater wide receiver than Jerry Rice. We don't know. I think the most egregious thing here is that you stopped the tape before the crowd started going, Jerry, Jerry.
Right. How about Barkley just chilling up there, too? That was great. Bob, you've been waiting patiently. What's your take?
Yes, I have. Well, the greatest football player of all time could either be an offensive player or a defensive player. Or it could be somebody who was the last man to have played 60 minutes in an NFL title game.
Chuck Bednarik.
That would be Chuck Bednarik. I rest my case.
So Concrete Charlie is the greatest player of all time for you. I like that argument. All right, I'll make it easy. Everybody's talking about how hard it is. Real quick, start with you, Bob. Give me your Mount Rushmore. Give me your 4.
Seriously, Jim Brown, Lawrence Taylor, as I said, Chuck Bednarik, and also Sweetness, who threw 7 touchdown passes to go along with his rushing, Walter Payton.
KB, I know you got Jim Brown. Who else?
Jim Brown, Lawrence Taylor. I would have to put Vince Lombardi up there because I think he was iconic in Tom Brady.
Okay. What about you, Sarah?
Yeah, I don't know if we're including Lombardi or George Halas. I'm going to go with just players here. So Ditka, Hurricane Ditka, I'm just kidding. Walter Payton, Tom Brady, Deion Sanders, and Jerry Rice.
Bill?
Brady, Montana, Unitas, and Jim Brown.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Jerry Rice had 1,000 catches, 13,500 yards, and 102 touchdowns after age 30. Okay? 3 other guys have that for their careers. That's your horn. Let's take a break before we run out of show here. Good stuff, guys.
Ditka.
New show here.
Ditka versus the Hurricane.
Ditka.
Question.
Around the Horn is brought to you by Skyscraper, starring Dwayne Johnson. Now playing in a theater near you.
I just saved hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico. I should have done this years ago.
Disclaimer, traveling back in time is physically impossible unless you know how to build a functioning time machine. Then by all means, travel 25 years back in time, switch your car insurance to Geico. You could save a bunch of money. While you're there, please prevent your younger self from wearing that sleeveless tuxedo t-shirt, parachute pants, and glitter high tops to your senior prom. And at long last, rectify this horrible crime against nature. Geico is absolved of all liability if you destroy the fabric of time and space.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Buy or sell.
Woo, Lord. Kevin Anderson and John Isner gave us the longest semifinal in Wimbledon history, 6 hours, 35 minutes. Anderson, 26-24 in the 5th set. Isner, of course, has been there, done that, having survived that 3 days, 70-68 5th set against Nicolas Mahut. Wimbledon, along with the French and Aussie Opens, do not have 5th set tiebreakers. Only the U.S. Open does. Man. I'm tired from watching, y'all. Bill, buy or sell Wimbledon, and for that matter, all majors going to a 5th set tiebreaker.
No, I'm selling them. This is perfect. Michael, you said it perfectly. Woo! That's how we feel after watching this. Woo! This is tennis. This is endurance. This is mental toughness. This is what we want to see. It's what makes tennis makes it so special. Keep it like it is. It was great.
Tradition. Sarah, what say you?
Yeah, I'd like to channel Bob Ryan for my answer and say kids these days are always in a hurry. Why do we got to make everything shorter? Sometimes longer is better. Let's play it like we always have, and let's enjoy it when a match goes this long. Because like Bill said, woo, it's fun to watch this. It doesn't happen that often. Let's enjoy it.
KB?
Yeah, we don't have to apply our microwaved approach to life to everything everybody else does. I mean, look, this was a day in cricket over in England where those usually take about 6 hours in a day and 3 to 5 days to play out the entire thing. So, you know what? That's one of the things that makes Wimbledon different and special.
Bob?
No, enough's enough. Go. Absolutely, enough's enough.
What?
It was boring. It just rocket serve. No. No. Go.
Bob doesn't have time for this.
Y'all get muted for thinking you know Bob Ryan. Don't act like y'all know Bob Ryan's life. Bob got places to be. Let's move on. Baseball now. And how about Mookie Betts going way back? The at-bat of the year, the 13 pitches, the grand slam, the reaction, the home run trot, 10th straight win for Boston, number 66 before the break. Buy or sell the significance of this at-bat in terms of the Sox season, Sarah?
Yeah, you just said it. The team has 10 straight wins. They've got a record 66 wins before the All-Star break. If they were slumping or struggling, maybe you could point to this if they went on a run after it and mythologize it as something bigger than what it is. This is just one tiny footnote in a great stretch for the team. It's fun. It's exciting. That's all it is.
Mythologize, like gargantuan. So rarely get to use it in a sentence. Good job. KB?
I think it really says more about Mookie Betts and lets people know what a great hitter this guy is. I mean, he leads the league right now in slugging percentage, OPS. He's already batted 300 in this league. He's going to have another season where he's going to have over 100 RBIs. What a great at-bat.
Bob in Boston?
I just thought of it as a baseball moment, tapping an inning in which there was an overturned call on video replay, an infield single, a muff pop foul in the middle of this at-bat, and then the guy hits the ball, takes out a 7-iron, and hits pitch 13 off the national car rental sign. It was just the whole totality of baseball for me, but it's not that significant in the big picture.
All right, Bill?
Bob, you're so romantic about sports. It just kills me. It just breaks my heart. No, this is sometime in October when they're facing tough times. The Red Sox are going to look back at this at bat and say, "This is who we are. We're battlers. We're grinders." You say there's no momentum that will carry over, but this will be symbolic of how they approach the plate, how they approach the pitchers, how they approach themselves. This is big.
All right.
Speaking of romantic, sheesh.
That's me. That's me.
The story from The Athletic on Wednesday detailed the relationship between Cardinals closer Bud Norris and rookie reliever Jordan Hicks within the Redbirds bullpen. The 33-year-old Norris tends to ride the 21-year-old rookie Hicks. The Athletic article raised questions about potential bullying and hazing in Cards. President of Baseball Operations John Mozeliak spoke with both Norris and Hicks on Thursday about their relationship. Quote, "Norris has the best intentions for me," close quote. That's what Hicks told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. You buying or selling this tough love is no big deal, KB.
I'm selling it. I mean, I don't understand why the pedagogy in sports in the locker room or the clubhouse has to be derisive. I mean, you can just lean over and tell a guy and give him some tips. I was watching Matt Scherzer the other day in the dugout talking to Eric Fetty with the Nationals, just giving him some tips, telling him how he's approaching the game. You don't have to make fun of guys and haze them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what about you, Bob?
Pedagogy. Oh, my.
Yeah, I know. I need a dictionary.
Now,
mythologically.
I'm okay with this because the point here is apparent to me. They have a young man who can throw 104, has tardiness problems in spring training. He's got not behavioral, but, professionalism was not his forte, and Bud Norris wants this kid to fulfill his potential. That's the way I see it.
Bill?
Yeah, KB, I don't think we've gone over to the hazing and bullying. I don't think we know that that's what it is. I think it's just holding the kid accountable. And Norris has been on 7 teams in 9 years. He's been in a lot of clubhouses. This is how baseball polices itself. This is good.
Sarah?
I'm going to channel myself on this answer because I'm almost a millennial, and I'm going to say that sometimes the things that have changed over the years since the days of Matheny, who said people are soft now, have changed for good reason. And I don't think it's gone into hazing, but I do think there's something to be said for if this guy has tardiness issues, then the manager handles it. You don't have a snitch in Norris who's going to tell him when things aren't being done the right way. When I see a guy's been in 7 clubhouses, that doesn't make me think he knows how to stick around and handle them right. It makes me think he doesn't, and that's why he keeps getting sent away.
Woo! First cut is the deepest. Y'all brought it today, but 2 of y'all got to go. Plasky, Spain. Sorry, guys. It's Bob Ryan, Kevin Blackistone. Showdown coming up.
Before you hit the road for any vacation this summer, visit GNC. You need to stay healthy, and GNC has the highest quality solutions and supplements in the industry. GNC brand products pass up to 150 quality checks. You can be sure you're getting the best prices with GNC's price match guarantee. GNC doesn't just match prices, they beat them by $1. Or try something new. If it's not right for you, return it for a full refund. You heard it right, a full refund. This summer, live well with GNC. Exclusions apply. See an associate or GNC.com for details.
We'll talk about showdowns. World Cup final is Sunday. France much fresher and, of course, the favorites. But if it goes into extra time, give me Croatia. Kev, who's winning and why?
Yeah, I'm feeling Croatia as well. I remember when they debuted on the World Cup stage in '98 in France. I was there to witness that, and now look how far they've come. I think they've got the best player in the tournament, Luka Modric. I think he'll make a difference in the midfield.
La Belle France va gagner 3-1. And the reason is there is nobody in the world who would trade their roster for Croatia. They're going to come up in the big game. They got some big names themselves. They'll be just fine.
You mean for Francis, but you spoke French and you had the point as soon as you went bilingual. Nuggets signing Isaiah Thomas to a one-year deal for $2 million. Thomas's fourth team in the last year reunites him with head coach Mike Malone. And Thomas took to IG last night to remind us who he was just a year ago. Bob, did Denver strike gold with this signing, and how dangerous can they be?
He's going to be highly motivated. It's going to be a tremendous motivational tool for him to show the world that he was worth that Brinks truck backup that he talked about 2 years ago. I think that they're going to really enjoy having the little guy around. He can play.
Wow, how fleeting can athletic talent be? Here's a guy who's sitting on top of the world in the NBA just a few seasons ago, and now he has to take this contract with Denver. Hope it works out for both parties, especially for him to bounce back.
Denver barely missed the playoffs last year. I do not think he is done. The guys both get the point there. All right, showdown number 3. Golf Channel's coverage of the John Deere Classic on Thursday featured a rescue of sorts on Rock River. 2 women find themselves just a bit offshore in their flotation devices, flip-flop paddles, not quite getting it done. Eventually, they were saved by a passing motorboat. So, Kevin, were they saved too soon, or should they have been forced to endure this a little while longer?
Not only forced to endure it, but enjoy the ride. Eventually would have dumped into the Mississippi. They can go down to a great state like Louisiana, enjoy some good seafood down there, listen to some music. Let them ride.
No, they deserve to have been given a big scare, but you don't want to wish really seriously any ill will on them. But, take a paddle next time you're going to take a craft like that out in the river, so you don't have to depend on flip-flops.
That would have been smarter. All right. Listen, you're speaking my language, KB, when you talked about Louisiana, but giving it to Bob Ryan. Boston ball, baby.
We saw that 13-pitch at-bat of Mookie Betts last night. I just want to give you a little primer on Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts, his real name is Marcus with a K, and he was named Mookie not after who you think, Mookie Wilson, but Mookie Blaylock. His father was a basketball fan. He came up as a second baseman. Then he was a center fielder. He won 2 Gold Gloves. You talk about Mike Trout. Is Mike Trout playing any better baseball than Mookie Betts is this year? The answer is no, and he's a wonderful young man. Somebody to root for, Mookie Betts.
I wonder if he's a Pearl Jam fan.
Mike Trout, he's playing better baseball than Mookie Betts. Are you kidding me, Bob?
But he's after Mookie Blaylock. That's
you better start paying attention.
This show's in your rearview mirror. We'll see y'all next week.